Hey man, that's how it's done. That is how it's done. Fourth quarter comeback, down 10 in the second half. Not a lead at one point in time in that second half up until the last 3 minutes of the game. Up until the last 4 minutes of the game. That is how it's done. This was a nasty, and I mean a nasty watch as an OKC Thunder fan. A much needed win that even up to those final free throws that Benedict Mathurin was missing was still up in the air. The Pacers played that fucking good tonight. Squandering a game like that for the Pacers at home but they played so damn well. I even admitted during this game that they were the better team than us. I don't think they have better players than us, but they are a much better cohesive unit than the OKC Thunder, and they showed that by the way that they came out and started off the game. So much more fluid, so much more on par with one another, with what their teammate wants to do. Everybody was just playing on a string, whether it was offensively, defensively, offensive rebounds by Obi Toppin, corner threes. The corner threes, man, all game long, killed us. To start the game, Pascal, corner three. Neesmith, corner three. Hallie, logo three, all wide open. Once Halliburton hit that three, and this is early first quarter, Halliburton hit that three, I said the game was over. Obi Toppin went on that little stretch, not little because it was very, he played his ass off in the second half. Third quarter MVP. He did everything right. He went on that stretch, and I'm like, yeah, the game is over. But somehow, some way, only one three-pointer made for the Thunder in the entire game up until the fourth quarter. And we were still able to hang around. I don't think we played great defensively tonight. I don't. We made great stops. We made timely stops. We made timely shots. Shout out to Alex Caruso, man. Alex Caruso is the MVP of this game for me, man. Defensively, offensively, the only player that gave us anything off the bench, man. Every bit of work that Alex Caruso did in this game was important. Every minute that he was on the floor was important. For the bench as a whole, there were 27 points scored for the Thunder tonight. Caruso had 20. We don't win this game without Alex Caruso. 5 steals and a block. 3 rebounds. I want to say 1 was offensive. 2 offensive rebounds. The 1 putback was very, very much needed. Every bucket, and Doris Burke even mentioned it, every bucket he got was timely. It put an end to it. It put a stop to a run that the Pacers were going on. It offset a lot of the energy and took some of that away from the crowd that the Pacers had all game long. Alex Caruso is the MVP of this game for me. J-Dub, man. All game, man. J-Dub. Shout out to J-Dub, bro. A lot of people doubted him the entire season. The entire season, everyone doubted him. He did not have a great first 2 games of his finals. He didn't. And he's disappeared time and time again throughout the playoffs. Not on a consistent basis where it's like, where's J-Dub? But there has been games where it's like, where's J-Dub? Tonight, Game 3, I felt Jalen Williams was the best player for majority, if not all of the game for OKC. Especially offensively. In the first quarter, his aggression getting downhill and his ability to draw fouls was a saving grace in the first quarter for the Thunder. He was slowing the game down, putting the easy points in the bucket at the free throw line. He went 6 for 6 in the first quarter, and he even incited a 9-0 run to tie the game at 24 when it seemed like the Pacers were about to pull away. 12 points and 3 rebounds in the first quarter. Like I said, 6 for 6 from the line. He did exactly what he needed to do all game long. In the fourth quarter, third quarter, scoop layup after scoop layup, getting to his spots in the mid-range and hitting that really, really tough and much-needed shot to take the lead. I think we were down 10 going into the fourth. I can't really remember. But the shot that he hit was very, very crucial. a tough look too. One of the shots that I mentioned in the last video that I was tired of seeing him take because he kept missing them. But he was on tonight. Shout out to J-Dub, bro. Shai in that fourth quarter, like what can I say? That is how you leave your mark on a game. He did not have a great game whatsoever. Andrew Nembhard was locking that shit down. It didn't matter what Shai tried to do. He was clamping that shit up. Andrew Nembhard was a very, like, he was the difference maker in this game. Andrew Nembhard was the difference maker in this game. It didn't matter if Shai was trying to, use his angles and create the separation off of the step back, everything that Shai does to be able to get to the shots that he does. Andrew Nembhard didn't allow none of that, giving him no kind of separation, no kind of space, no breathing room, even getting beat on a play in the first half and still finding a way to recover, get back into the play, and tip the ball out of Shai's hand from behind. Although they called it a foul, it's still great defense nonetheless because he stopped a potential basket by Shai over Miles Turner. So I like everything Nembhard did, man. Like, Shai didn't even get a free throw till halfway through the third quarter. Like, he was clamping him that much. You could see Shai was bothered too. You saw it in the last game where on the first possession they get into the little shoving match. And this was a very intense game too. Obi Toppin and Isaiah Hartenstein after the hard foul on Caruso. Like, this was a very, very intense game. And these teams are really getting after it, man. I'm so happy, not only for my team, that this is a tied series now, but just for NBA, period. Like, this is a great fucking NBA Finals. And I don't even use the F word and all that like that on this channel, but this is a great NBA Finals, man. Like, I am very, very ecstatic from what I'm seeing from both sides of this, gauntlet of teams that we have in front of us. The Pacers, I don't know what it is about Gainbridge Fieldhouse, man, but their role players step up every time they are home, bro. Every time they're home. Where there's Aaron Nesmith hitting the 6 threes. Was that a home game? Yeah, that was a home game. Game 1 against the Knicks when he hit the 6 threes on the 20-point comeback. Andrew Nembhard making his clutch plays in games, in game 2 and 3. Or game 1, excuse me. That wasn't Gainbridge, but, it is what it is. Miles Turner, the game that he was able to piece together, the fourth quarter, he was able to piece together last game. Pascal Siakam, the way he started off the game. I mean, he's not a role player, but even still, like, just TJ McConnell. And Benedict Mathurin, 27 points. They're role players. Obi Toppin, although he didn't have the game he had tonight, his impact was damn near the same in last game. And just, I cannot give the Indiana Pacers enough credit for how they empower one another on the floor. If they get a paint touch and they don't like the shot that might be there, they're not going to force up the shot. They're going to kick it out to the perimeter, and that ball's probably going to get swung a couple more times, causing the defense to shift and making the drives that much more easier once you attempt it again, because now the defense is not set. They're trying to scramble and find their man because the ball's moving so fast. You're even getting skip passes across the court. Like, the Indiana Pacers play very, very efficient team basketball. They are remnants of the MVP Steve Nash led 7 seconds or less Phoenix Suns with a hint of that 2013, 2014 San Antonio Spurs when they were on their NBA Finals runs. With the way that they're able to share the ball, everybody eats. We're going to have numerous double-digit scoring players on his team. That's the kind of basketball that the Indiana Pacers play, and having a coach like a Rick Carlisle who has been there and done that, an NBA champion of a coach who has coached deep playoff runs, who has coached guys of a caliber of a Luka Doncic, of a Jalen Brunson, even of a Dirk Nowitzki. Like, he knows how to bring the best out of not only his stars, but his role players. J.J. Barea, Jason Terry, what they were able to do in that NBA Finals. Even Jason Kidd, the way that he had him playing. I mean, Jason Kidd is a Hall of Famer, but still, this is a very well put together team. Obviously, I really love, and I've given praise to the OKC Thunder as well for the way that we've been able to build our team, not only through the draft, but obviously acquiring the trades of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and bringing in the draft pick that was Jalen Williams. So things have worked out in our favor from both sides of that coin, but I will not, discredit the way that these players have made themselves into the players that they are. Andrew Nembhard is a second round pick, and he has turned himself into a household name with this postseason run that he's been able to have. Guarding Shai Gilgeous-Alexander this well in the NBA Finals, the MVP of the league, when no one else has seemingly found an answer for this kid, when he's only had one game under 20 points in his entire postseason. You gotta tip your hat to Andrew Nembhard, man. Just working relentlessly on his game. Offensively, you see him improving every single year. Even in his rookie year, hitting big shot after big shot. He had 2-game winners against not OKC, but Golden State, as well as the Los Angeles Lakers. I remember the one against the Lakers very vividly because Halliburton ended up kicking it to him with about a second left on the clock, and he knocked that jaunt down. It was about a step or two away from the line as well, but he's been able to turn himself into not only a good to great offensive player, but he is now known as a great perimeter player. He is one of the top two-way guards, or will be considered that going into the season next season for sure, because of the performance he's been able to prevent Shai from having. Now, he did end up with 35 in this game, but a lot of that came in the fourth quarter. He scored 15 of his 35 in that fourth quarter. He was finally able to get to the free throw line. He was finally able to get to his spots in the mid-range without having so much commotion, getting to one dribble pull-ups. Because of the defense Nembhard was playing on him, Shai had to adjust greatly to that. And I watched, or more so listened to, Club 520 podcast where they had Vaughn Alexander, Shai's dad, on there earlier, and he actually mentioned how he trained trained Shai rather, to adjust to what the defense does, as opposed to having pre-notion or pre-made up moves in your head like, oh, I'm a Euro step on this player, or I'm going to do a spin and pull back. He trained Shai how to adjust to what the defense is throwing at him, and you see that throughout the game time and time again. He's just able to counter whatever you give him, and I will say for a majority of this game it did not work, but somehow, some way, in that fourth quarter he was able to find it. He had, Nesmith, where he had the push-off step back and he kind of lost his balance. He was able to regain his balance somehow, square up, and knock down a fall-away jumper on the baseline. That is not an easy shot to hit, and he was able to do that, and that is the shot that took the lead for us. That is the shot that changed the game, and that was all she wrote. I mean, they played so well. They played so well. You can count this as our game one that the Pacers had against us. You can count this for us because the Pacers won this game. The Pacers lost this game more than we won this game, I meant. This was a game that the Pacers were supposed to walk away with feeling great coming into OKC up 3-1. But somehow, some way, even with the Halliburton heroics late, he does not miss around the rim. It does not matter who is guarding him in the fourth quarter. Go fact check it. In this postseason, I don't think he's missed a shot in the clutch at the rim. And I might be tripping, but he hit 3 in this game alone. One against Hartenstein, one where he got around Caruso, got to the rim, and then one on Shai as well. All in that back end of the fourth quarter. Like, Pascal Siakam, the way he started off the game defensively was locked in. 10 points, 4 steals in the first quarter. I love the way that the Pacers do have that free-flowing offense where everybody is able to get it going. But I feel like Pascal is a player that for him to really have it going, the ball needs to be in his hands. Like we saw against the Knicks game 2, where he had that near 40-point game. Like, that's the type of player that Pascal is. Now, he can't just get it off of the strength. He's going to get you 20 points. That's the player Pascal is as well. But if you need a guy, especially down the stretch, I mean, we know who Tyrese Halliburton is and how he has been performing. I mean, I can't even say down the stretch because Pascal sucks at shooting free throws in the postseason, so I don't know. But throughout the game, I felt like there were opportunities to, for him to get his scoring at a more consistent rate. I mean, he ended the game with 20 points. Like I said, he's going to get you 20, but to have 10 in the first quarter and then to just finish off the game with 20 points on just 15 shots. Obi Toppin took damn near just as many shots as him with 12. Like, I love it. I love it. So many double-digit scores. They had 17 from Toppin, 18 from Halliburton, Nembhard with 10, Turner with 12, Pascal with 20. Nesmith just missed out with 8, as well as McConnell and Mathurin both also finishing with 8. So it's a lot. It's a lot to go around. They had 21 assists to OKC's 11. At one point, it was like 21-8. Like, it was really a lot of ISO ball. Not even ISO ball, but just not able to get any kind of rhythm off of moving the ball. Not the lack of ball moving that there was for OKC. But it ended up working out in our favor, man. Majority of everything came from 3 players. Chet Holmgren, I shout out to him, bro. We would love more scoring from him, more consistent scoring, but 14 points, 15 rebounds, a block, a steal, and an assist on a night where he tweaked his ankle maybe 3 different times. Just a warrior, man. Got out there and really did his damn thing, bro. He had a really big offensive putback dunk. He ended up with a couple of offensive rebounds late in that stretch that kept possessions alive. Like I said, J-Dub with his 27, Shai with his 35, and then Caruso off the bench with 20. And I don't know what it is. I don't know about Hartenstein, man. I don't know. In this game, just 2 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Kind of in and out of the lineup, though. Just 21 minutes. But not really impactful when he's on the floor either way. We obviously need the bigger body, but he's not rebounding the basketball the way that we're accustomed to him doing. He is keeping plays alive on the offensive boards, though. I will say that. He had 3 of his 6 rebounds were offensive. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe Dagnall was on to something not starting him, but you see when he starts him, we won the game. Obviously, we won game 2 as well, but our bench, that was because of our bench. The bench did what they were supposed to do. But yeah, man, this was a hell of a game. This is now turned into a real series. Both teams have lost at home, and we have a lot riding on this game 5. Teams that win game 5 are historically known to win the entire championship. So I can woosah and get a good night's sleep tonight, because if we were going to go down 3-1, I promise you, I even said it to everybody that asked me about the game earlier. If we went down 3-1 to this team, we were losing in game 6 once we came back to Indiana. Merged. I know that for a fact, but we'll never know, huh? We'll never know, huh? Because we're not losing game 5. We have yet to lose back-to-back games all playoffs long. And that stat popped into my brain late in the 4th quarter when Shai was cooking. I'm like, man, this is really about to be the first time we lose back-to-back games in the playoffs. We have not done that. We still have yet to do that. And we definitely not about to go into OKC with the momentum that we now have, stealing one in Gainbridge, coming into this game 4-4 on the road, now 5-4. We are not a great road team in the playoffs right now, but this one was the most. I was actually impressed with the comeback. Because I said it maybe in a couple of videos ago that we don't have that comeback ability that the Pacers have. We had it tonight. I will have to go back and rewatch the 4th quarter and see how we changed up the defensive schemes and what was going on with the Pacers. I felt like the game was being called fairly. Free throws are pretty evenly. Now I will say it was touchy, especially in that 1st quarter for the Thunder. They got to the line quite a lot. And even like there were points throughout the game. It was like, come on now, that's not a foul. But 33 free throws for the Pacers, 38 for the Thunder, and a handful of those came in the back end of the 4th quarter when they were playing a foul game. So, I mean, we can't throw that in there as a discrepancy. 13 turnovers for the Thunder. Indiana ended up with 15. Like, pretty even in those regards. It just came down to that 4th quarter. The Thunder outscored the Pacers 31-17. A team that was averaging 30 points per quarter in this game, essentially 35, 25, and then 27, held to just 17 points. And then a team that only scored 30 in the 1st quarter, giving you 31, like that was ended up being the key. But yeah, man, I'm feeling great. This was it was scary. It was scary there, but I'm glad we were able to come away with the win. Shout out to Shai, shout out to Dub, shout out to Caruso, shout out to Chet. Shout out to Dagnall, man. Changing up that starting lineup, I feel like that made some kind of difference. You know, I love Case and Wallace, but I don't think he needed to be starting not a single game in this postseason. He's not a starter on this team. And we went 16 straight games without changing up the lineup. You change it, and then we lose, and whatever. But with all that being said, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. If you are new around here, go ahead and subscribe. I always forget to say that shit at the beginning of the video, but it is what it is. Thunder in 6, man. I'm not, you feel me? I'm not giving up hope. But I appreciate y'all, man. I'll catch you on the next one. As always, we enjoy basketball. Peace.